Hi friends, hope you are doing good. Uh, Under design and analysis of algorithm, today we are going to discuss Unit 4, iterative improvement. So iterative improvement means just a computational technique. We are going to start with one or some feasible solution. We are going to repeat based on the feasible solution until some no improvement. We are going to stop that solution. That's what it is called as. We are going to repeat the step until no further improvement is found. So then we are going to change the current feasible solution with a better value of the objective function. So then finally we are going to return the last feasible solution as the optimal solution. So keep in mind, change the current feasible solution to the feasible solution with the better value of the objective function. Because of the reason, so come to the step 2. We are going to repeat the step until no improvement found. Because each and every step we are going to attain some improvement. So because of that, we are going to change the feasible solution to current feasible solution. That's what it is called as better value of the objective solution. Under this iterative improvement, there are 4 different famous problems under our curriculum. So that's what it is called as simplex method, Ford-Fulkerson maximum flow problem. So then third one is maximum matching in bipartite graph. So then fourth one is stable marriage problem. Okay. So already in classroom itself, I said many times. So unit 4 is a easy mark scoring unit because only 4 problems are available. Out of that, we can able to easily attain the full mark in case you solve the problem completely. So don't leave out of these 4 problem, don't leave any one of the problem. So today we are going to discuss about this out of 4 simplex method. The bad one is simplex, but the problem has many lot of constraints are there. So now we are going to discuss the problem which was early discussed in our classroom itself. So if possible, take your class or notebook. So follow the steps thoroughly. So then later I will give some assignment problem. So you try to solve some problem. So let's move on to the simplex method problem. So also some technical constraint, I'm using this notebook itself as my study material because my laptop having some technical issues, so kindly give excuses. So this is a basic simplex method. In your question paper, the problem will be like this: either maximize so the equation followed by 3 different equation, x greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0, so then z greater than or equal to 0. Otherwise, so simply they may ask, okay, so explain simplex method with an example. So you need to be memorize or thorough with a predefined problem. So keep it in mind in your question paper. Problem will be available, or else you need to be ready with one problem in your memory. So don't forget to memorize the problem. Okay, so we are going to start solving this problem. So the maximize the equation P, which is equal to 2x plus 3y plus z, which is subject to x plus y plus z, which is less than or equal to 40. So second equation is 2x plus y minus z greater than or equal to 10. So then third equation is minus y plus z greater than or equal to 10. Okay, so the same likewise we set the definition for iterative improvement. This one is also some linear programming, because this one is called as equations. They are also called as linear equation. We are going to attain a linear objective function because of this. Okay, so in the right hand side we are having on definition. Linear programming problem is to find the minimum or maximum value of the linear objective function. Here we are going to find the values for x, then y, so then z also, then another p. So that x, y, z is called as decision variables. So that's what it is called as linear programming. This one is also called as linear programming. So the very first solution is we are going to convert the given equation into linear equation. Given equation into linear equation. Okay. So in the linear equation, so the very first thing you need to keep in that mind, we are going to eliminate all these greater than symbol and less than symbol. So to eliminate the greater than symbol and less than symbol, we are going to introduce one variable. That's what it is called as slack variable. So that slack variable is some variable names. You maybe have some PQR or something. So already we are having X, Y, Z. So we are choosing the slack variable as STU. Here we are having three different equations. That's what it is called as STU. So slack variables. So then second one you need to come into the mind. How we are going to eliminate this greater than symbol or less than symbol. In case if it is greater than symbol, we are going to include that subtraction along with the slack variable. So similarly, in case it is less than or equal to means you are going to include the addition symbol and then the slack variable. Okay. So come to that problem. So how we are going to convert this first equation? Consider this x plus y plus z less than or equal to 40. So we are going to convert the linear equation. We are going to convert the equation x plus y plus z. So here it is less than or equal to 40. In this case it is less than or equal to, in the sense we are going to include plus along with the slack variable yes. So then second equation, consider second equation 2x plus y minus z, which one is greater than or equal to 10. So in case it is greater than or equal to, in the sense we are going to include the minus, subtraction. Okay. So minus the slack variable t. So the next one is minus y plus z greater than or equal to 10. So greater than or equal to, in the sense by default we are going to include the minus value. So along with the slack variable u. So I think this concept is clear to you. So we are going to introduce the slack variable to make this as a linear equation. To make the equation as linear equation, we are going to eliminate the greater than or equal to or less than or equal to symbol. So again, remember, in case it is greater than or equal to, in the sense we are going to include the subtract variable, subtraction along with the slack variable. In case it is less than or equal to, in the sense addition and slack variables. So then what is our objective function is p, which is equal to 2x plus 3y plus z. So we are going to make the objective function so also into a linear equation, because we need to find the value for p also. So bring all the 2x 3y plus z variables to left hand side. Minus 2x minus 3y minus z plus p, which is equal to 0. Which is equal to 0. So now we convert this problem into that. Okay, so linear equations along with the objective functions. So keep this in mind. Okay, greater than or equal to, in the sense subtraction slack variable. So in case less than or equal to, in the sense addition along with the slack variables. So based on this we are going to build the initial table. Okay, so initial table, what are all the variables we are using? X, y, z, s, t, u, p along with that RHS value. Like similarly like some matrix table we are having. Okay, so x, y, z, s, t, u, p along with the RHS. So first equation, consider this row as the first equation. X value is 1, y value is 1, z value is 1. Similarly s value is also 1. So x is 1, so similarly y is 1, z is 1, s is also 1. So then we are having s value as 1, so t is not presented. So similarly u is not presented, p is also not presented. So we are make it as null or else 0. So RHS value is going to be 40. For second equation is 2x 2. So then y value is 1, z value is minus 1. So then s is not presented, 0. So then z is present. So t is presented minus 1. So then u is not presented, 0. Similarly p is not presented, then RHS value. Similarly minus y plus z minus u. So x is not presented in third equation, y minus 1. So then z is presented, s is not presented. Similarly t, so then u minus 1. So then last one is RHS value is 10. So then last one is objective function. So minus 2 minus the x value is minus 2, y value is minus 3, so then z value is minus 1. So then finally, so p value is 1, we don't have any RHS value, so it's going to be 0. So next one we are going to learn a new thing that's what is called as clear column. So clear column in the sense, okay, clear column in the sense, so from the initial table we are going to check the columns. So look at this. So look at our initial table. This one is the initial table. So clear column in this sense, okay, so we are going to check the column. So only one entry is presented, remaining all the values needs to be 0. So for example, consider this column x. Okay, so only one value need to be presented, but unfortunately here we are having value for 1. So similarly consider y value. Only one value need to be presented, remaining all the value needs to be 0. Similarly, z is not a clear column, so yes is a clear column because of the reason only one value is present, remaining all the things is 0. Similarly t, so only one value is present, remaining all the value is 0. So u, so only one value is presented, remaining all the value is 0. Similarly p, so only one value is presented, remaining all the values. So s, t, u, p are known as clear column. I think you might have clear idea about this clear column. Clear column in the sense, check out the initial table. In the initial table, so look all the columns. So the column contains only one value, so remaining all the value needs to be 0. If suppose any column is presented like that, that column is considered as clear column. Here we identified STUP as a clear column. So based on the clear column, we are going to form a test ratio. So before that, so these two things, I think, active variables, inactive variables. Why I marked STUP as active variable and X, Y, Z as inactive variables? So because of the reason, based on the clear column idea, so STUP are having clear columns, so they are considered as active variables. But unfortunately, X, Y, Z is not a clear column, so it was called as inactive variables. So by using this STUP, we are going to find the values for X, Y, and Z. So I am naming this row as, first one is S, so then T, so then U, then last one is that P. So these are slag variables which we introduced during the initial step of the problems. Okay, so from the initial table, the table has converted like this. I think you might be clear with this. So next one is for active variables. The next one is we are going to find the test ratio. So test ratio in the sense, so we are going to divide the RHS value with their clear column value. So for example, so consider the first row. So for example, yes, so the RHS value is 40. So then the particular yes is the clear column, right? Okay, so clear column the value is 1. So yes, which is 40 divided by 1. So similarly, the second row T, so the value is 10 and the clear column value is minus 1. So 10 divided by minus 1. So similarly, for example, so then U, so the value is 10. So then the clear column value is minus 1. 10 divided by minus 1, which is minus 10. So then P, the RHS value is 0 divided by anything, 0 divided by 1, which is equal to 0. So test ratio 40 divided by 1, which is 40. So then 10 divided by minus 1 minus 10. So then 10 divided by minus 1 minus 10, P value is equal to 0. So among these values 40, so then minus 10, 0. So we are going to consider the least positive value. We are going to consider the least positive value. Here doubt may arise. So in case I am having 40, 10 minus 10, 0. So you need to consider the value for 10. because we are going to consider the least positive value. Keep it in that mind. So